Hey guys, and welcome to the review of the Adidas Nitrocharge 1.0 TRX FG. I guess I'll start off by saying what Adidas gives you in the box. Unlike their usual releases, they actually give an extra pair of laces, as you can see here, and it comes in this Ziploc bag, nicely wound up. Here I actually put both sets of laces on so you can see how they look on the shoe, and I'll get more into that as I get through the review. I guess I will start off with the upper. So Adidas uses this hybrid touch synthetic upper, which we first saw on the Predator LZs, and well, on the LZs we couldn't really use the benefits of the hybrid touch synthetic because it was surrounded all along the upper with the rubber zones, lethal zones. But on this we can finally feel the hybrid touch synthetic and what it actually has to offer. And to be honest with you, I am not impressed. I think it's just a little too stiff. Now I actually have a pair of my SG3s for comparison, because I think the closest thing that rivals this Adidas synthetic upper is the Kangolite 2.0. And in my opinion, the Kangolite 2.0 is a much softer, much more flexible upper, and offers a better feel on the ball than this hybrid touch synthetic. I mean, if you can just see here, it's just very soft, very flexible. And then we have the hybrid touch synthetic, which I can add that I have broken in, I believe. I've had enough wear for this shoe to be considered broken in, and so we can see, I mean, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but you can trust me when I say that this just feels a lot softer and more flexible, the Kangolite, as opposed to the hybrid touch synthetic on here. It just feels too stiff for me. So speaking of the upper, especially in this forefoot region, we have these protection pods. I'm not sure what Adidas calls them, but to be honest with you, they are a little bit stiffer than, I guess, say this part of the upper. There is a bit of padding there, but in terms of extra protection, I don't think it really makes a difference at all. Luckily, I wasn't stepped on while playing with these, but I guess that this is one area where the Nitrocharge and the hybrid touch synthetic is better than the Kangolite, in that it offers a bit better protection. Not by much, but it is there, as you can see here. Actually, what this reminds me of, these protection pods, is the memory foam panels on the Maestri 2s. Unfortunately, I don't have a pair to show you, but those control pads, quote unquote, on the Maestri 2s are very similar to these protection pads on the Nitrocharge. These actually are a little bit stiffer, but it's like a similar sort of idea. Okay, so now that's out of the way. Right, moving from the hybrid touch synthetic, we'll move back to the energy sling. And this is pretty much what I think defines the Nitrocharge, along with the energy pulse, of course. If my camera focuses, it actually says energy sling there. Not sure if you can see it, but this was I mean, this is something that I actually like on the Nitrocharge. It's the it's there for giving you that tight support in the front of your foot. When changing direction, you can really notice that your foot is still locked in place. I know on the leather Adi Zeros, for me at least, when I change direction fast, I could feel my foot sliding just a bit. But in this energy sling really wraps around your foot. I mean, you can see here that you can see that it really does tie the foot around really nicely. But yeah, that's one thing on the Nitrocharge that I do like. Now I know that a lot of people are questioning whether it affects the touch on the ball, if there's like a little bit of grip here. But no, there really isn't any grip, and you don't notice it at all when playing and controlling the ball. Actually, what this feels like, I'll get back to my Maestries. What this energy sling feels like, texture-wise, is these pass pads on the Maestri 3s. It's not very sticky. It's not tacky. It's just like an extra layer of I don't know how to explain it actually. It's just there. It's just something that pops out. It doesn't really provide any grip on the ball. It's just a solid. It just feels solid. It won't put any extra spin. In fact, it's not even big enough to be considered a predator element, I guess. But yeah. So the energy sling is a positive addition to the Nitrocharge, I think. Next we can move back to the lacing system. As we can see, it's sort of an asymmetrical lacing. It moves inwards, and actually I have another shoe that I can compare it to. It actually looks pretty much identical to the T90 Laser. T90 Laser 4, that is. And we can see that it just curves off to the side. It curves into the middle again. Sort of odd, but I mean it does its job. It really doesn't bother me at all. And here you can see it's a little bit longer, and so I think it really ties your foot down better than the lasers. The lasers is kind of a short lacing system, so all this is. But yeah, going back to the laces, this is the two color laces that you get. Personally, I prefer the blue. I think that the neon is a little out there for me. Too much going on, where the blue offers a more simple look to it. But that's just me, of course. They both look nice. I know my friend actually has a pair of these, and he prefers the neon laces, so it's up to the player. And okay, so now let's move moving more back. We'll go to this mesh part of the upper. And honestly, the mesh upper is pretty solid. The Hybrid Touch Synthetic and the Energy Sling blend very nicely into the mesh. We can see that better here. It offers a decent feel on the ball. I mean, not the best, but it does feel good. There's two problems with the mesh upper that I found. Now, I was lucky enough. Well, I wouldn't say lucky, but I was able to play on two very different kinds of pitches on very different kinds of days. On a hot, humid day on turf, as well as a sort of breezy, rainy day on natural grass. And I found that on natural grass, on that rainy day, there was some bad mud pickup into the mesh, and it's very hard to clean. I don't know if you can see, but it's just there's mud stuck in the mesh upper. and it's very hard to clean. I don't know if that's going to have any effect on durability, but I mean, it is a bit bothersome visually, as we can see there. I did my best to try and clean that out, but it didn't work out. So that I would say, yeah, it's very hard to clean. If you're fine with that, I mean, I'm sure you'll have no problems with the mesh backing. And so, let's see. Oh, I would like to add, since I mentioned that I did play on turf, that these were fine on turf as well, in all aspects. And I'll go ahead and now go to the Soleplate. The thing that I like about Adidas and their latest releases, for I guess the past 2-3 years, I would say, is this sprint frame. I like the external heel counter, and it's very lightweight and fairly flexible. And we all know this stud pattern, very familiar to us in the lethal zones and Addy Zeros. And very solid. I know a lot of people don't like it because they feel it's too long, but I think they're fine on both natural grass and turf. And also with the Soleplate, we have the energy pulse. It says it there. I guess my camera phone is not picking up the wordings. But yeah, it says energy pulse there. And what this is basically a modified version of the power spine that we saw on the Addy Powers and the we could say the Power Swerves, Pred X's, and Absolutes and so forth. What this is basically you can see how stiff that is. But yeah, it doesn't allow any flexibility this way, but it does when running off, which is great. So when kicking the ball, you get extremely solid contact, and it feels great when kicking the ball with your laces, shooting the ball, etc. I have one more thing, I think, and that is the insoles. Basically, there's nothing really special about these insoles. In fact, I think it's basically the comfort insoles that we see with the Addy Zeros. Basically the same thing, actually. Not very thick, but not very thin. Thick enough to where there's not really any stud pressure, which is nice. And yeah, overall very solid. I mean, nothing really wrong with them. So I guess overall, I have to say that, to be honest with you, I was not a fan of the Nitrocharge personally. They just weren't a boot that fit my personal preferences. Overall, I do prefer the Maestri 3s, as I can see here. I do prefer these because of the softer upper and flexibility. Yeah, so I tried to be as unbiased as possible for reviewing the Nitrocharge 1.0. But let's see. On a scale, I know a lot of people like scaling ratings, and so out of 10, I would probably give the Nitrocharge a 8 out of 10, mainly because of this hybrid touch synthetic. I can't say that I was disappointed, but it didn't live up to, I guess, the hype that, because of it was Adidas' new silo. But it is a solid release, and I guess I can recommend this to anybody who's looking for something completely new, because the Nitrocharge does give you a whole different feel on the ball, especially with this mesh upper blended with the hybrid touch synthetic and these sort of protection pods. Not that the protection pods do anything, but yeah, overall it is a solid release, just not my cup of tea. And I mean, I'm sure I left something out during this review. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I will reply to you as soon as possible. And so thanks for watching. Bye.